Happy whatever day of the week you're watching this particular video. Welcome everyone to District 54's How to Conduct a Virtual Club Meeting. We greatly appreciate you being here. My name is Chris Boyk. I'm the District Director for District 54, and we're here to help clubs in District 54 and potentially around the world with understanding how to conduct a virtual club meeting. We've got a fun, full-packed agenda for us today, and let's start out with what our agenda actually looks like. So as you can see here, we're going to be talking about a few different things here. We're going to start out with how do you set up a club to be ready for a virtual meeting. And we're going to use D54TM information. And also we're going to go through how to request a Zoom meeting from the district, how to have your own club if you decide to start your own Zoom meeting. Then we're going to go into how do you actually conduct one of these virtual meetings? I mean, we know how to do the in-person meeting, but how do I do a virtual meeting? We're going to go over these different topics here and how to handle them. And then finally, we're going to talk about how a club can set up a PayPal account and what information is needed. We greatly appreciate everyone viewing this particular information. And I will bring this agenda up from time to time just to explain how things work and to also keep track of where we're at. If you have questions, I'll be asking after each one of these little subpoints if there's any questions about the topic that we just covered, but you can see how we're going to go into the various different items on our agenda for today. Okay, let's get started. First off, thanks to COVID-19, we are in a very unique situation in the history of Toastmasters, modern humanity, life in general. We're social creatures after all. Humans tend to like to talk to other human beings and deal with other human beings. And not as many people are as comfortable, especially Toastmasters, are as comfortable with these computer things and the phones and having video and audio. Some people are, some people aren't. Either way, we're going to try and help with some of the fear that happens with these particular endeavors and what we have to do. In District 54, we realize that not all of our clubs have access to Zoom technology or video conferencing technology. Now, if you have, through your corporation, if you're a corporate club, and you have a GoToMeeting or a WebEx or a Teams or a Skype for business or Yakov's Discount Video and Audio and Ice Cream Emporium solution for video conferencing, by all means, go out and use that. That's perfectly fine. It's just within our district, we found that Zoom tends to be the easiest, as you can have a free Zoom account for 40 minutes without being disrupted. And then after 40 minutes, if you want to continue your club meeting without paying for it, you just click on the meeting link again, and you can rejoin the same meeting. On D54TM, we have this wonderful D54 response to the COVID-19 virus. And here, we've got some outlines that we've basically put together for our clubs. For example, for clubs that can't meet in a regular location, by all means, we will help you out with requesting with setting up a Zoom meeting. We have about 20 clubs as of the time of this recording that have filled this out, and that we have provisioned a virtual meeting for. We're very popular right now, and as a result, we really are trying to help out our clubs both financially by providing this service and also by helping with some training, such as this particular meeting. We want to know what club you represent, who who you are, because, well, for some reason, and I could be wrong, I usually am, it kind of helps to know who to contact and what's your email address in case there's any issues. I could be wrong. And then we just want to have a number of how many people usually show up to your meeting. What day of the week, the time, and the frequency does your club meet and want to meet? We would like to have that type of information so that way we can keep track of that type of information, because for some reason, once again, clubs want to have the right time meeting for their meetings, and they want to also advertise a correct meeting time to their club. Now, one thing that we're doing is for each one of the clubs, we're trying to generate a separate club meeting number. So the link that you clicked on to join this particular video today, to join this particular Zoom meeting that we're all on, that's unique for each one of the meetings for the clubs. It's a different one for each one of the clubs, and we're trying to do it that way to prevent issues with one club coming in at the same time as another club and having discombobulated sessions and potentially causing some issues. Although I do have to say, if you know someone in the club that's meeting at a different time, by all means, please reach out to them and ask them, hey, can I join your virtual meeting for your club? I want to see how you operate. That's perfectly valid. Then we just have some quality of life questions here. Does your people know, your members know how to use video conferencing? Do they have any computer restrictions that may be in place? And do you need help with establishing a PayPal? Believe it or not, over half of our clubs have responded yes, they need help with this type of information. So that's one of the purposes behind this particular video that we're capturing today, to be able to help clubs that need help with setting up an online payment system to be able to collect dues. Because remember, Toastmasters International has given us an exemption till April 30th to get our club dues in place for it to count for DCP points. Take advantage of it. Start some mechanism, whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Yakov's discount payment processor in Ice Cream Emporium. By all means, go right ahead and use that particular mechanism, even if it's a Square account. Likewise, right here, you can see that we've canceled the 2019-2020 Table Topics contest. For contestants who have won their area or their club contest, congratulations, you won. And you advanced as far as we're going to go this year. But we are still going to continue to have the International Speech Contest. And the area contests and division contests are being scheduled and all being held virtually within our district. This way we are able to give our competitors the best opportunity possible, as not all districts are actually continuing to have the International Speech Contest. Sadly, it breaks my heart. We're not going to have the District 54 annual conference this year. This is being canceled as TI has made a requirement for all district events to be canceled until June 1st or until otherwise told. So we don't have Richard Peck coming out to our district, unfortunately. We will be holding a district council virtually on this Zoom meeting link on April 25th at 9 a.m. August 25th, I'm sorry, April 25th, 2020 at 9 a.m. Presidents and Vice President of Educations, we highly recommend that you attend this particular session, as we need to have an accurate vote, and we will be opening up a request for a credentials chair, a credentials form that will be going out to you very shortly here. Please fill that out and please attend the meeting. Deck members, same thing is applicable for you. And then once again, if you have questions, I'm the district director, aka the person who's accountable for everything that goes on here. You can blame me for any problems. If you scroll down a little bit more on the District 54 website, we have our list of calendar events. I don't know why it always starts in January, but for most other people, it starts with whatever the current day is. Maybe it's because I'm logged in as an administrator. And then we also have this need a form option here. We actually have different resource guides that are directly on the homepage of D54's website. Pathways evaluation, new member toolkit, speech contest material, club officer kits, and club coach kits, and the area director resources. If you need something and this is not sufficient, please let us know. We will update this to have the appropriate information. And these are all links over to the resource library within Toastmasters International. Okay. Any questions? Chirp, 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 chirp. Good. All right. Let's go back to our agenda.
First, I got a question. It's Audie.
Hey, Audie.
Are you coming in as a host?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I got a business Zoom, and they say I can be a co-host. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So you guys just have the password, or?
We'll talk about that in a few minutes here, okay?
Okay.
That's actually something that we'll be talking about during the etiquette and using the video section before we get into presentation and timing. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. So we've gone through everything that's here. Okay, fine. Our club has met. We've decided we don't want to use a District 54 Zoom meeting, or we've got some other mechanism that we think is better. How do we go about creating our own Zoom account? Fairly simple. We go over here to zoom.us or zoom.com. It's free to be able to sign up for a free account. Just click on sign up, enter in an email address, and then follow whatever reCAPTCHA they require. I'm playing whack-a-mole here for those of you on the call. And I will confirm. Now you're going to get an email from Zoom with a how-to guide on how to start meeting. And naturally, because I'm doing this live, the cake does not want to bake, and so we're going to hit that. I am not a robot. Well, for the purposes of this call, I'm not a robot. And then I personally use Outlook.com, so we have a sign-in button. Okay. Wonderful. Let's try a different email address. Once again, we're live, folks. This is awesome. And the system has basically sent me a new email address. Fortunately, we are starting a new one. Now, if your club has a Gmail account, I would highly recommend leveraging your Gmail account for your club if you want to set up your own Zoom meeting, and this is what you're going to get. Click on Activate Account. And of course, that did not show up in the correct browser. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to type in the information needed for this account. Now, no one take a look at my password. I'm trying to keep this ultra super secret. Hold on, why are you guys all still watching my password? Now you're going to be prompted to enter in your password information, and if you're going to invite other colleagues to this is a great way to be able to help other members of your club be able to enter their username and password here, or enter their email address here to be able to sign up for a Zoom meeting as well. But we're going to skip this step. And this is my personal URL meeting for meeting in the future. And we're going to go to my account. And from here, you can see that I have a limit of 100 people that can join. With 3 or more people in a Zoom meeting, it's 40-minute time limit. Or for one-on-one conversations, it is unlimited. So if it's 2 people in a meeting that are just having a conversation, like a phone conversation or video chat, it's unlimited amount of time that you 2 can be on that particular meeting. And it doesn't matter if it's free or paid. In order to set up an online meeting, a virtual meeting, click on Meetings. You also can download the Microsoft Outlook or the Chrome extensions. Click on Schedule a Meeting. And remember, if you have not upgraded, you're on a 40-minute plan with 3 or more people. You give it a topic name, a description of the meeting, specify the date and time that you want to meet, whether or not this is going to be reoccurring. So if your club meets bi-weekly, I have found that you actually want to change this to weekly and every 2 weeks. Now, the problem with this is it can't do first and third or second and fourth or first, third, fifth or first, second, fourth, or any of those other combinations. So you're going to have to potentially schedule all those intermediaries if they don't follow within the same period individually. Now, if you're meeting in April, for example, your first meeting is the first and third Saturday or Thursday of the month, let's say Thursday of the month. Your next meeting would normally be April 2nd, 2020. You can just specify every 2 weeks, and then you've gotten your second and fourth meeting. Hold on just a second. So that's the way to be able to handle that. If you know that you're going to end, or if you believe that your club is going to resume normal meetings after 3 virtual meetings, just specify 3 virtual meetings here. And this way, the first, second, let's say your club meets on the first and third Thursday of the month. Uncheck this. And if it meets at 7 p.m., you're going to be in conflict because the 5th Thursday of the month is actually present in April. And Zoom is going to schedule you to have a meeting there. So you may only want to have 2. It all depends on when your club meets and how many days that in that month there are that you're going to be meeting virtually. I know some people are going to be meeting here in March, and some people are going to be meeting starting to meet in April. It all depends on your club. require a meeting password, you can either set this or not. And then you can specify a meeting password if you want for attendees to be able to join. If you want people to be able to join before the host does, by all means, click this. Otherwise, they're going to be waiting in a room until the host joins the meeting. And that's going to be whoever the organizer, whoever set up this account with Zoom, whenever they log in, that's going to determine when everyone else will be able to get out of the waiting room. And then you can mute participants on entry, or if you just want everyone to join the waiting room immediately, you can here. Now, with a paid account, you can record to either your local computer or to a 1 gigabyte cloud folder that they've got up on Zoom. It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you record locally, that may be an effective route to be able to handle it, and we can talk about that. I kind of am on the fence of actually recording a club meeting because a lot of people may not get the right sense for it. And what I've noticed with a lot of the clubs that I've attended their virtual meetings is that they don't quite have everything down. So if you want to be able to laugh at yourselves, it's a great opportunity and see how things work, what worked, what didn't work, and actually review what happened. It is a wonderful thing. But if you don't want to be able to record it, that's perfectly fine as well. And then we'll save the meeting. Now from here, I can either click on send this to a Google Calendar, a Yahoo Calendar, or create it as an ICS file for distribution to other clubs. And I can copy, if I click on this copy invitation button here, I don't have to create a meeting invite for anyone. I can just click on this copy meeting invitation, and then I can go over to my email program and email this information to my club attendees. And as a direct result of that, my members will be able to either join through this meeting link only. One other important thing to note with a free Zoom account, there is no phone number dial-in information. During this coronavirus issue, the folks over at Zoom have run out of capacity on their phone lines for people to actually join. In normal times, Zoom has enough capacity to be able to have people dial into a call. That is only available in a paid subscription, no longer available for the free basic plans. So that's something to keep in mind. If your club is interested in upgrading to a paid account, just click on plans and pricing. The pro account is perfect for any club that can afford the $15 a month. I do recommend that a club would only purchase 1 month unless they want to go for a longer period of time and just pay one $15 monthly fee. With any luck, the politicians will actually release the COVID-19 pandemic requirements and allow people to actually resume normal life in the real world. And this would become unnecessary. And even if it's only 2 months, it's still cheaper than the $150 that you would be billed at one time, unless you want to use this for your own personal use. But you do get audio conferencing capability. You do get technology capabilities that are a little bit more advanced, such as the cloud recording, the ability to have a few extra options for your attendees. All of that is available. Any questions about how to set up a Zoom account or how to request one?
I have a question, Chris. This is Julia Gunter speaking.
Sure.
Can you please go over the copy meeting invitation. I have actually two questions. How to go through the copy meeting invitation one more time,
Sure.
and how I'll ask you the second question after, if that's okay.
So easiest route to go, can you see my full screen here? Some people may need to scroll to the right.
No, I can see everything. I
So
think I can see.
over here next to the join URL,
Uh-huh.
on the far right, there's the copy invitation button,
Yes.
and you just copy meeting invitation here,
Yes.
and it's copied onto your clipboard. You can then open up I'll just open up a new Word document, for example. And my meeting invite information is right here.
Like that.
Okay, and they just click on the URL, and then this is the invitation to the Zoom meeting. So this is the most important address, basically, to the meeting.
Correct, correct.
Okay. And how did you get to this screen, the one before, where you had all the information about the meeting?
Sure. So I created a meeting.
Yeah, before
So if you're logged in, click on meetings, and then you have schedule a meeting, or you can edit a meeting. And I can click on this and get to this information. Or if I'm starting a new meeting, if I'm scheduling a meeting, schedule a meeting, and this is how you can get to this information. Okay?
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Not a problem.
Chris, I have a question.
Sure, Ed.
Listen, you mentioned going to your email and just, I know you did a Word document. Has anybody ever tried doing I can't think of the name of the program that everybody uses to schedule their Toastmasters meetings?
Easy Speak?
Yeah.
Or Free Toast Host. Yes, you can go to, it depends on which kind of club you are. If you're an Easy Speak kind of club or a Free Toast Host club, I am an Easy Speak guy. So I can go over to my DTM Advanced Club, for example, one of the clubs I belong to.
And just paste us there.
And I can go to my next meeting, and I can click on my meeting email, and I can just simply copy and paste it directly into here, and then hit first email or second email, whichever I prefer.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. And then you keep all of your members up to date as to what's going on. Now, one quick pro tip, anything that starts with HTTPS here, go to the very last character, click on it, and then hit the space key. And the reason why is because that turns this into a hyperlink. And it's just best practice to be able to have something for someone to click on instead of having to copy the whole thing up and then put it into their browser as a URL. So they can click on this, they can't click on just.
Can you please repeat that one more time?
I'll show you again. So this, they have to copy and paste this into their browser, into the URL up here. But if you go to the very end of the link and you hit the space key, it puts the hyperlink right there. So it's clickable now when they get the email. So that's just a simple pro tip to try and help out with figuring out how to help your members be able to join the meeting. And likewise, if you do pay for a pro account, you will have the ability to have more information. For example, there's a phone dial-in information that's available. You get a little bit more, like this is, for example, what if you click on the Outlook meeting invite, this is what it actually looks like. One thing I've noticed with clicking on the Outlook meeting invite is that for some people, it's setting their time to UTC time instead of local standard time. and that's messing some people up. Or worse yet, it's changing the time from whatever you have here. I've personally found it best to include the day that the meeting's going to happen and the time the meeting happens for people to be aware of that. That's just something I've found that is very helpful for people to do when you're scheduling a meeting. Okay?
And you put that in the title line.
Correct. And that way, even if this is wrong, at least they know, okay, whatever's in the title, tell people whatever's in the title, this is the actual day and time we're meeting. Okay?
Chris, it's Audie.
Yes.
I got a question and a comment. The question is on the 40 minutes. I just want to understand that after 40 minutes, which most meetings are after more than 40 minutes, do you restart the same meeting or do you start another meeting?
Nope. You just click on the same link and it'll take you back in.
Okay. And then a comment is this. Throughout my many years of Toastmaster, I always wanted to record my speech. And I think that's more important than other areas of the meeting. You know, who cares about the word and the joke maybe so much? Can you just have the recording of the speech or the evaluator's speech if they want? Okay.
Yes.
I like that capability.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on with the using video section. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about how to set up a Zoom meeting for your club in District 54? That'll conclude this particular recording. We thank you very much for attending and watching this video, and we wish you the best of luck in these times that are not like anything we've ever seen before. Thank you.
Thank you.